Welcome back, Beach Cities Real Estate. It is such an exciting time to be in real estate, and especially here in Dana Point, San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano, or Laguna, Niguel, what I call beach cities. We are in the world's best market, in my opinion, where everybody really wants to live. This week, we're going to take a look at a high sale that nearly hit 20 million. We're going to go over the numbers that matter, take a look at what's happening in the inventory, the mortgage world, quick deviation from our normal programming. We're going to take a look at one of the listings that we just sold this last week because it's an interesting story where the seller got to benefit from some really unique things that we do. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at the deal of the week. So this week's high sale of the week was 13 Ritz Cove Drive, which is in one of our best neighborhoods here in our area. If you've ever gone down to Salt Creek Beach, you're walking down the grass hill. On your right is Ritz Cove. Those big, beautiful mansions, lots of them with incredible views and really unique architectures. That's Ritz Cove. It's one of our best neighborhoods. It's gate guarded. It's amazing. You can walk right out to Salt Creek Beach. And so this week's sale closed at $19,050,000 at 13 Ritz Cove Drive. This was a brand new home that was built on a lot that largely faced Monarch Beach Golf Course with some ocean view off to the side, which remember that sale because one, it was a beautiful home, but two, we're going to come back to the deal of the week and they're going to be related. And so keep a note, 13 Ritz Cove Drive for $19,050,000. Now let's jump into the numbers that matter. The number of homes on the market dropped from 537 down to 518. Those are the number of active listings. If you're a buyer looking in the market right now, you can go out and take a look at homes. You have to choose from 518 properties across all price points here in our four wonderful cities. That number is coming down, which is a normal trend here as we enter fall to see the number of available listings go down. The interesting thing is that the number of homes in escrow, which I think represents demand, jumped by 9 properties up to 173 homes that are currently in contract to sell to a buyer. So it's a unique thing that's happening in the market. It probably has some things to do with what's happening in the mortgage world, which on Friday we hit our lowest mortgage rate on a 30-year loan year to date. That's right, 2025's new record is 6.52%. This came after Jerome Powell did a speech in Jackson Hole talking about the breaking of the labor market, or softening of the labor market. Now it seemed like reports being revised and everything happening in the economy, it kind of feels like Jerome is the last one to finally admit, yes, there is a break in the labor market and it's time to lower mortgage rates. And so we anticipate, if you check Polymarket, you have a 77% likelihood of a 25 basis point drop when the Fed meets in September. But why did mortgage rates go down now instead of in September when they lower the Fed rate? Mortgage rates are more tied to the 10-year yield and bond market than they are tied to the Fed rate. And so the bond market is pricing in what they expect is going to happen in September. And so the pricing is getting out ahead of that, assuming there's going to be a Fed rate drop. So if there isn't, we'll probably see mortgage rates go up in response, but most likely we're going to see the Fed cut rates and we'll see mortgage rates continue to trickle down over the next few weeks. I'm excited to see if we can get down to 6.3, 6.4. I think we'll start to see a lot more action in our market once we hit around 6.25 at some point if we get there this year. But hang tight, I'll make sure that we talk about it when we do. Okay, breaking from our normally scheduled programming, I want to talk about a home that we just sold this last week, which I don't typically tell all the stories of my clients and share them all with you, but this one's unique because this is one where we were able to change the financial landscape for the sellers. And what I mean by that is they had determined their value by meeting with 2 other agents before meeting with us, had determined that their home was worth about $1.5 million. And before we get too far into the story, this is 33262 Paseo Molino, located in Mission Bell here in San Juan Capistrano. So the other 2 agents told them, hey, this home's worth about $1.5 million, just like it is. We don't recommend staging. And their reasoning was that if you do staging and make everything a little bit nicer, then buyers are going to be harder on you in inspections and you're more likely to get beat up and disappoint the buyers when they realize that your home is a little bit older and not as well maintained, which I didn't necessarily agree with. Yes, there were some deferred maintenance things. It was probably time to surface the pool and do a few things to the home, but the home overall was in pretty good condition, and the seller had clearly put some money into it, having rebuilt the roof, having had solar installed, an elevator, and various things over the years. They clearly had loved this home over the years for a very long time, and it served them well. So rather than going to market just like it was, I recommended that we do some paint, we do some carpet, change some light fixtures, a total around $9,000 to $10,000 worth of work, because it was only on one section of the home that really needed paint and carpet. And then we do about $5,000 of staging. just to show the home in its very best light. And because of doing those things, I felt it justified listing the home for more than $1.5 million, and we listed it for $1.595, just $95,000 more after the $15,000 investment. As a result, though, we generated 4 offers, and we just closed escrow for $1.67. So ultimately, we ended up selling for $170,000 more than was recommended by the other agents, simply by presenting the home in its very best light, because you really don't get a second chance at a first impression. How the buyer shows up and walks through your door for the very first time determines how they feel about your home, which determines how much they're willing to pay for your home. And so there are times where we need to do a few things to make sure that you get every dollar of your equity and you really sell for top of market. If you have questions on how to do that, call me, message me. I'd love to help you. Lastly, let's get back to the deal of the week. This week's deal of the week is also located in Ritz Cove, and I'm a little bit biased. It's our listing at 70 Ritz Cove, which has been on the market for a little while if you're following it. Our price now is down to $9.9 million. And why I think that is a great deal is because when you look at 13 closing for $19,050,000 as a new build, our property at 70 Ritz Cove, which I think has a far superior lot that not only has more privacy where people aren't walking right underneath your home on the beach trail, being up higher and with an orientation directly west, you get the full view from the balcony at the Ritz Cove all the way down past Monarch Beach, around the corner to Shell Beach. You can see from 70 Ritz Cove, and you can see it downstairs. And so I think that our orientation of our lot is a much better lot than 13. And so somebody who came in and let's say they built a brand new home could reasonably expect to sell it for somewhere in the $20-25 million range. And you look at it and go, okay, what's the lot value if you can resell a home for 20 to 25 million? I think that makes our price at 9.9 million an absolute bargain. The exciting thing is there are several people circling on it. There's things I can't tell you about, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get that property into escrow here in the next couple weeks or days, and look forward to getting that one sold. So if you have any questions on how to either improve your value, what's happening in the market, where mortgage rates are headed, or the deal of the week, give me a call again. Hit subscribe if you're enjoying this. I'd love to go down this journey further with you and help you with all of your real estate needs.